Hello and welcome back to the bottom mod for Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King, as we now come to the second overview of the 7 factions, or 8 if you include the 2 Misty Mountains factions, but we only class that as 1 because they're very similar. But now we come to Lothlorien, and as you can see, like I did with the last one, I have done everything in advance because it has not taken me 7 minutes to get it all done. Don't worry, I'm not that godly with Lothlorien. Just a wee bit, but not that good. But whenever you use the F9 key, it resets the timer. Although I don't think that's really important. It's just a nice little aesthetic thing. But yes, we have come to Lothlorien, and they look very much like you'd expect them to be. A more foresty, malon tree, just tree-focused Gondor. And it's very well done in their building browser as well. So where to begin with Lothlorien? I'm going to start with a few little things. You may notice these nice little leaves just floating around everywhere. You might not see them, but I'm just going to... Can you see them? Just floating over the trees? Well, those are actually... I'm actually unsure as to what they are there for. I have a feeling they're obviously meant for something greater, but the only thing I can think they're for is... Whenever you have a unit that, like your basic Lothlorien units, whenever you have them in the trees, well, compared to this unit here, this unit's just there, just standing there nice and tall. These guys are in the trees, and they're stealthed. So I'm thinking any elven units, except for the Galadriel, I think, except for anything from there. So your basic Lothlorien barracks. So that's 4 different types of units that stand within the trees. They become stealthed, and become very hard to see. You literally have to move straight to them for you to see them. And that's the main thing. The stealth mechanic has been really redone in a really good way for the elves, in that they don't instantly get revealed after they start attacking with some of their more elite units. But we'll come to all that when we cross the bridge. But let's start with our buildings. So, the Malon tree. As you can guess, like every other resource building, it gives you resources, it gives you command points, and it gives you a reduction. What's a reduction? It gives you a reduction in the cost of Ents. So these big things are here. And trust me, you are going to want that decrease because, oh boy, they are a bit expensive. But we'll come to the Ents when we get to them. So next we've got the Lothlorien barracks, the same as all the other barracks or archery ranges or whatever. They have to be built within the new auras that surround the fortress and outposts. For those of you that don't know much about fortresses or outpost auras, I recommend checking out the Gondor video before this. I'll most likely link it somewhere in the video. I'll link it somewhere. Don't worry, it'll be there somewhere. Yeah, the Lothlorien barracks, like every other barracks, has 3 tiers. Once you get to tier 2 and tier 3, you can start getting new things. We start by able to train the Lothlorien archers, the Lothlorien warriors, and the Lothlorien spearmen. And these units right here. You may also notice, very much like the Lothlorien of the Dying, these units cannot get heavy armor because, you know, they're scouts. Why would they need heavy armor? But they can still get the banner carriers and the weapon upgrade that suits them. So for the archers, obviously, it's the Silverthorn arrows, but for the warriors and the spearmen, it is the Forge blades, which again can only be crafted from the smith. But we'll get to that later. Then you also have an elite unit, the Lothlorien Warlords. An elite unit, you can get a maximum of 5 of them, and if I can pick them out here, nope, I just put that's Caliborn. There, nope, that's a Halberd. Don't need a double chin yet. Don't want the... Let's move out the way so I can actually hit these walkers. There we go. So these guys, firstly they get a formation which allows them to get speed and armor. Should probably actually go with the formations of the other 3 first. So for Lothlorien archers, you get a stance that gives you increased range and speed, because you know you need more range as an elf. But you lose a bit of armor, not very important. Go into a tight formation, you gain increased in armor but lose some speed, so very similar to the square formation of Gondor. Then you get the wedge formation, again exactly the same. Additional armor, but instead of reduction in damage instead of speed. And then we come to the Wardens. They have a formation called Scout Formation, which gives them increased speed in a low reduction in armor. So they are obviously, as you can guess, a more scouty unit. They also get to toggle their weapons, so you can have them between sword and bow, very similar to the Galadriel of the original games, where you can switch between sword and bow, or even though they were just called elven warriors. they can get banner carry upgrades, but they immediately start with forged blades and silverthorn arrows. You do not need to purchase upgrades for them. And another little tidbit of information, they have this ability called Move Unseen. Lothlorien Wardens are always stealthed even when they attack. I actually tested this a lot playing against Lothlorien. They would spam these guys out and they would destroy my building, and I could not see them. They would literally walk up to my building, go into sword mode, attack my building, just nearly destroy it. By the time I get something over there and I finally realise there's something over there attacking me, it's because these guys are never ever unstealthed unless you are really close to them or you have an unstealth ability. Which is why the unstealth abilities have been made so much more impactful. Because also, all your basic Lothlorien units can get the Elven Cloaks, which you need to first purchase from the Lothlorien Barracks level 3. But once you do, you can all your units can get the Elven Cloak, which makes them invisible. And again, for those that don't have much experience with the Elven Cloaks, it's used a lot with the 4 hobbits of the original BFME 1 campaign. So just think of it like that, and then give it the ability to move around and attack while stealthed for 5 units that start with silverthorn arrows and forged blades. Yeah, you've got yourself a pretty OP unit right here. So next we've got the Galadriel Barracks. And before we go on to what the Galadriel Barracks does, this requires the Grace of the Eldar to be purchased. And just a quick look at tier powers. So you need to get first the Wind of Protection or the Elven Healing to get the Grace of the Eldar. And it's a 12 cost power. So it's going to cost you, it's always going to cost you 17 power points before you can get your Galadriel. But when you do, you can get the Galadriel Archers, which you can see right here. Now these guys can get heavy armor and silverthorn arrows and banner carriers. You can go into a wedge formation, similar to the scout counterparts, but instead of gaining speed and range, they get damage and reduction of armor. So the original wedge formation that existed back all the way in BFME 1. But they also have an ability when they reach level 2, Tangado or Kalad. Basically, this gives them increased range and literally makes them shoot over and over and over again as if they were a Legolas using an arrow volley. And just to make it sound, and it doesn't just make it more compelling. Actually has a mini quote from the movie while in the Battle of Helm's Deep, because these are obviously the warriors that were used in the Battle for Helm's Deep. Well, in the movie at least. And then we have the Galadriel Swordsmen, which are the exact counterparts of the archers. They have a block formation, so again, very, very similar to the basic Gondor soldier block formation. Gives them armor, reduction in speed. They can get their banner carriers, elven armor, and forged blades. Oh, my throat's going a bit now. A bit too soon for that. And then they also get Helio, which is Galadriel's swordsman charge at the enemy and gain damage and speed for 20 seconds. And of course, you actually have to charge something to do this, because you can't just click it and then get the bonus. That'd be too powerful. You have to do some micromanaging to make that power work. And of course, for those of you that don't know much about the Sindarin language, Helio means charge, and Tango Kalad means ready your bows, or prepare your arrows. A very obvious theme where you're preparing your arrows for fire over and over and over again. And then once you hit level tier 3 building for the Galadriel Barracks, or tier 3 Galadriel Barracks, you get the Galathon Guards, which are your late tier spearman units. You can get a maximum of 5, and they are like the tower guards. They get massive armor, a big reduction in speed, but they also, I didn't mention it, it also knocks enemy units. I'm fairly certain that's meant to be I think that's meant to say they can't get knocked over, but I might be wrong on that. They might actually be able to block, might be able to knock units down with their shield wall formation. They might actually attack with their shields. So, you know, cool little thing there. And of course, there may only be 4 of them in each unit, but there's 887 health at level 3. And compare it to with Galadriel Archer, which has a little bit under at the same level. And that's a big difference to see. You also have a shield and a bit of armor too to begin with. Take a breather. Okay, next, the Entmoot. So as you can guess, there's 3 different Ents you can make. There's the basic Ent, which now costs 3,000 to make. there's everyone's favourite Ent, voiced by John Rhys Davies, Treebeard, which costs, with the complete decrease of 5,600, although I'm fairly certain he actually costs 7,000 to begin with. The Ents cost, I think they cost 4,000. To actually say, a wood bonus of minus 20%. Okay, minus costs like 6,200, some odd number. But yeah, all these Ents are expensive, except for the Ash Ents, the cheapest Ents, but you can only make one of these Ents. And you can guess by its tiny stature, it can't throw stones like the other two bigger Ents, the basic Ents and Treebeard. But yeah, basic Ents, pretty good, lots of health, double the health of the Ash Ents, so yeah, they're definitely worth costing 3,000. And that's a big amount of man points too, 7,000 for your siege equipment. But then Treebeard, exactly the same, you can pick up stone, may not want to though. You can also use Shepherd of the Forest, Ents near to Treebeard, gain additional damage, speed, and experience. I don't know why they want experience, but okay. I guess they actually get a bonus from experience. But then because the basic Ents, they don't run anymore, because, you know, running is busted for Ents, they now only walk, and they make the whole earth tremble with them. The only Ent that can charge, really, is the Ash Ents. Because Treebeard has Call of the Treebeard. Treebeard gets enraged and releases powerful shout that echoes across the battlefield, enter the battlefield, gain damage and double speed for 30 seconds. So that basically means they stop walking and start running, because, you know, Treebeard's pissed off, he rallies all the Ents, and they all have a nice tea party over a Saruman and kill him, and try to destroy him. That sounds fair, right? Yeah, that sounds fun. Next we've got the heroic section, which I haven't actually built yet. I completely forgot about it, but it's the Elven Maiden carrying a torch, or just a brazier of some kind. And this gives Alexander statue gain increased armor and their experience faster, and it gives 10 command points if you ever need 10 command points. Next are battle towers, the same as every other faction. You can make only 10 of these battle towers, similar to how you can only make 10 Mammon trees. You can garrison up to 2 troops in them, and you can also give them their arrow upgrade before even getting the Silverthorn arrow upgrade. I don't know why, but why not? But yeah, apart from that, yeah. They've also got this little aura around them. I don't think that means anything. I think that's just a thing that exists. Oh, no. I'm wrong. I see the leaves around them. It's not obvious, but I do see the leaves around them. Because this aura actually, I think, actually provides more stealth. Because it is a trait of some description. Which I find quite hilarious in a way. That trait actually gives an aura of stealth. Next, you get your unique building, the Lothlorien Garden. This reduces the cost of Galadriel Martin's Swordsman by 20% and gives you an additional 100 command points. And like the Stoneworker, you get 2 different upgrades. For you, though, you get the Malorn Sprouts, so basically you make your trees better. All your Malorn trees produce 15% more resources per tick, so now it's 30 at level 3 instead of like 26, 24. Then you also get the Lembas recipe, which I think is busted, because it gives every Lothlorien unit additional health and faster auto-healing. Like the elves needed more auto-healing in the first place. Yeah, it's not like the Stoneworker where it has an aura which gives armor. It just gives... It's basically a marketplace mixed with a OP health gain for all of your elven units, which I still find quite busted. Yes, it doesn't work for Ents, but to be honest, if you're getting the Lothlorien Gardens, the only reason you're using it is to give your elves more strength and to make your Mammon trees better, which is actually visible with the glowing light around them. It's not obvious, but it is a bit obvious. Oh no, that's something else. That's something else. No, I was right. I'm not going to contradict myself this time. What's next on the list? The Lothlorien Sanctuary, this thing right here. This trains the Light Bearers. The Light Bearers are a support unit, so imagine them like the Lore Masters of Imladris. You can get up to 4 of them. They can scare and they heal allies, but their main passive ability is the Light of Erendil, provides additional speed to allied units which will keep the effect for 5 seconds. Provides great vision for light bearer. If the staff glows, the enemy units are near. Ooh, that's something I didn't know. If this staff's actually glowing up, that actually shows that enemies are nearby. So these are actually the perfect counters to other elven factions, or to other Lothloriens, because yeah, they get this little glowing aura around them, and it tells them that enemies are nearby. Although I haven't seen the enemy for quite a while now, so I'm kind of thinking it's just the staff itself, not the aura around them. Next, they get the blinding flash. Enemy units flee in fear when they see the flashing lights. So it's very similar to Elendil, not Elendil, the light of Elendil, and any other fear effects that exist in the game. We all know them, we all love them. They're really annoying that anyone that has to get in their way. And when you can use them one after the other, after the other, after the other, it gets a bit stupid. But then you also got the healing light. Allied units are slightly healed and gain 15% damage for 10 seconds. And I do believe this does not stack, because that would be busted. That would be a total of 60% damage increase for all allies in this aura. And you do use all of them at once, so you don't have to micromanage all of them. Just use it once, and they all have that bonus. I'm fairly certain it does not stack. It shouldn't stack. If it does stack though. Another thing about the Lothlorien Sanctuary though, it gets this thing. The Gathering of Light. Sanctuary gathers a light of the stars and gain additional spell points. So you use it, gather light around you. There you go. It gathers light as if it was to explode, but instead it gathers, and then you gain power points. I think it happened, I didn't notice it. But yeah, you can use this every now and again, and you will keep getting more power points, which seems a bit good for the defensive focus of Lothlorien. Oh, my jaw just cracked up there. That's not good. Then we've got the Lothlorien Well, which you can see right in front of you. A little more detail than what it shows on this portrait, because they decided to say, hey, let's make this well look a little bit nicer. So they added a statue of Galadriel with a basin in her hands, as if she was to take some water and drink it, and then a little fence around it to make it look cute. Because apparently elves now use fences, even though they've never used fences anywhere else. Same here, they decided to use a fence, because apparently elves need fences. And as you can guess, it's a well, it heals things, and like the heroic statue, it does not have a aura requirement like those other buildings do. Next we've got the Lothlorien Forge, very similar to the blacksmith. You can get to make them. You can research your upgrades. We've got banner carriers, then in tier 2 it's another armor, and forge blades in tier 3 get the silverthorn arrows. And unlike with the Gondorian marksman of Gondor, you do actually need to have your units nearby when getting the silverthorn arrows, along with the forge blades and elven armor for any unit. You can't just build a unit. So let's just quickly build a unit of Lothlorien archers. Just let them build up slowly. Before, when you have the Gondor archers, you can just get the Gondorian marksman anywhere, because it was built from an exterior building. But if it's built from the main building here, the forge, unless it's the banner carrier, you have to always be in the aura to get the upgrade. That's something that Gondor kind of makes a bit difficult with no longer having fire arrows. But let's just skip forward while we're waiting for that unit to be built. Next we've got the wall hubs. Same as Gondor, you can build them, build walls, and however, unlike Gondor, you cannot get postern gates because the elves are not, for some reason they don't have postern gates. I mean, they could make them. If someone in the game ever decided, hey, let's give the elves postern gates, they could do it. But it doesn't work with the elves, really. I think having postern gates makes them too powerful. Plus, they're already stealth anyway, so you wouldn't be able to see edge. So, quick tangent again. Lothlorien archers, we can get the banner carriers, no problem, but we cannot get the silverthorn arrows until we're in the aura of the forge. So yeah, with the wall hubs, you can build them, you can extend them to make walls. You can attach them to towers, which I learned quite recently. You can actually attach your wall hubs to certain towers. Some factions can anyway, I don't think every faction can. You can also attach them to other buildings for some reason. Yep, your walls can now be attached to certain buildings, but they have to be very specific buildings. So buildings that actually attach them, so it would be... So obviously the Lothlorien barracks would fit. In fact, let's quickly build the outpost so we can show this off properly. Build it back here. So this wall hub here, if I could somehow snake it through. I don't think I can. Oh wait, I can. I can. We can snake it through, we can attach it to battle towers. And then that can keep being brought over and over and over again. I mean, that's a fun little niche. That's a fun little niche that wasn't invented in the original game, and actually makes wall hubs more useful. Because now, if an enemy wanted to get in, they would have to go all the way around here. And now if I wanted to, I could build an additional wall hub. I could actually touch the wall hub. Touch it from here. And try and get it all the way through to here. And now they have to go for this one little space to actually get into the fortress. But this little bit here has been completely locked off. Yep, you can only build gates. You cannot build postern gates as the elves. Because obviously, like I've already said, the elves' main roster for their walls was never to make postern gates. Oh, they're quite actually connected to the Lothlorien barracks. Okay. So it's mainly just for... I guess the armory is an exception for some reason. It never touched the armory. Oh, it hit the wall. Okay. So yeah, your wall hubs can now connect to battle towers and nothing else. Only battle towers and other wall hubs can they connect to legally. And that has been proof tested by me with every faction that can make wall hubs, which is every faction other than Mordor and I think the Misty Mountains when you're playing as Goblin Town, but you can make them as Gundabad, that I do know. I'm going to start moving everyone out because we want to just beat the enemy soon. Because they've not done anything for a while and I'm a bit frightened by that. But yeah, you can build the gate, you can open it, you can close it, no problemo. And then the final building, you can build the outpost. You can build 2 of them like you could before. They act as command point games. You can build builders from there, you can build your heroes from there. You can garrison a troop unit in there. You can garrison a unit in there to either protect them or for any other reason. But I would like to note, unlike Gondor, you cannot rebuild your fortress if it is destroyed. If you lose this fortress right here, you can never get it back.
Where should we build?
Because the building does not exist. I think that might have been an oversight by the developers of the mod, but it is the fact still stands. You cannot remake your fortress. So think about that next time you let yourself get attacked. You cannot lose your fortress. But now let's go over the fortress. So you can get your builders, you can recruit your heroes, you can get your upgrades. So let's actually talk about what these upgrades do, since I haven't bought any of them yet. The banners of Lothlorien gives an experience boost and makes heroes cost 10% less. The Lights of Galadriel provides additional vision bonus. Blessed Mist makes nearby enemy allies camouflage, you already know about this. The Crystal Moat decreases the melee vulnerability of the fortress. Before it was melee units cannot actually attack the fortress, but obviously that was a bit busted, so you have to learn to make your choices. Now this building here, the Mirror of Galadriel, we'll go over what that does soon enough, because even I don't know what it does, in full honesty. Then get Silverthorn arrows, and this is the thing I forgot to mention. You can actually get this building, and it decreases the Silverthorn arrows upgrades for battle towers by 40%. So you're actually saving a decent amount of money by building this first. If you wanted to spend 1,500 before spending, I don't know, 300. So you'd be saving about you'd be saving 120 on 10. So you're actually making a good bit of money by spending. Actually, no, you're losing 300 if you never get attacked at your fortress by spending this first. As you can see, the vision bonus is quite substantial. It does give you a nice bit of range. Then you got the camouflage mists, which for those who don't know, it's the same as the enshrouding mist. It gives you a fog which acts as a defensive, a stealth mechanic. As you can see, the leaves are starting to flow from here. And the crystal moat, I'm not sure how it's going to look on this building, but hey, I'm willing to find out. I'm all waiting for the rest of them to get upgraded because the last one, the golden leaves, fortress gains health, buildings gain additional health, and allow the Girdle of Lothlorien ability to be used. Now, I have no idea what that is, but we are going to find out. You can also build watchtowers, you can also build light trees, which are the good equivalent of the gate watchers of Mordor. Oh, that's how the crystal looks. Gonna admit, does not look good. It does not look good. It does not connect with this tree whatsoever. I guess it can work with everything else around here. But you can make the vigilant ents, which are your siege defense, watchtowers, which fire defensive arrows. But of course, also get the Silverthorn arrow upgrade when you purchase it. And again, the light trees, they act as a fear buffer. And then the vigilant ents just pick up a rock and start throwing it at people whenever they want to.
We must protect the
Just start moving everyone forward. Prepare to defeat Angmar. For those who don't know, I'm currently fighting Angmar. That's why we're not hearing the constant Misty Mountains jibber jabber that we were last time. I will try my best if we do the rest of the when I'm doing the rest of these videos, these overviews, to not fight against the Misty Mountains, because goddamn are they loud and they are annoying, and I do not want to have to hear the constant drumming. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear it either, or the constant mists they keep bringing out. So we're about to get the golden leaves, but while we're waiting for that, let's go with the ring hero, the White Council again, because that's what you get when you're playing as any of the good factions. And I can now confirm, when you're playing as the evil factions, you don't get Sauron anymore. You instead get the Necromancer, a weaker version of Sauron. But the thing is, with Mordor, you still get the original Sauron, and he's a bit busted. He's a bit busted, and we'll go over how powerful he is when we get to him, because oh baby, is he too good for real life. So let's go over the White Council you acquire if the game doesn't break. So you get Saruman, like we've already shown on what Saruman does. He gets his Wizard Blast, survival, and he makes enemies on a bit of a rampage. There's Kernan, which we'll show off as well. He summons some water and summons a giant boat. So let's just summon the boat again, because why the hell not? Boat time! Hitting everyone else but us. Then we get Elrond again, which is the heal and the restoration.
We must gather our
Well, then we
strength.
also get Gandalf, which has his Wizard Blast and his Lightning Sword, and also has Narya. Again, I feel like they should change that. Gandalf should not have Narya while Kernan has Narya. No, I'm not going to. And then finally we get Glorfindel. He has revealed in Wrath. Glorfindel reveals his power, makes enemy units flee in terror, also stuns Nazgul if they are nearby. So not even the Nazgul are safe from Glorfindel. And they shouldn't be, because, you know, Glorfindel, kind of the guy that says he could take on all the Nazgul on his own, except for if they're led by the Witch King himself. Then he gets Starlight, nearby allies become healed and gain increased damage, armor, and speed. And he gets the Nazgul light area around him. Glorfindel gain 100% damage increase in Spy Spears and nearby enemies with each hit. Deals 1,000 bonus damage to Balrogs. You know, just you know, he died killing one of the great Balrogs, and now that's shown again by him killing a Balrog. Well, he has the power to kill a Balrog, but of course the Balrog has been restricted to only the Misty Mountains, so you have you have strength against the Nazgul in Mordor, and you have strength against the Balrog of the Misty Mountains, which is quite hilarious. And in fact, now everyone hold back. Back. Everyone back. I haven't finished yet. So let's go over the Girdle of Lothlorien, wherever it is. I think it's actually just the Mirror of Galadriel. No, it's not. Oh, okay, that's something new. So what is the Girdle of Lothlorien? It doesn't actually say anything. Oh, no, I don't know what the Girdle of Lothlorien means. Tell me. Okay, I guess we'll never find out. Well, if you guys actually know, do tell me, because I'm actually very intrigued to find out what the Girdle of Lothlorien is. Yeah, Galadriel, she's fast. She's fast and she runs far. She's the Sonic of Lord of the Rings. She does not take long to go anywhere. So when she's near the Mirror of Galadriel, reveal an area of the map for 2 minutes, Galadriel must be near the mirror. So basically you have the ability to spy on any area of the map, which seems a bit pointless. Yes, it is for 2 minutes, but we'll go over why it's pointless when we go over the powers, which will be now. So, Tier 1 powers. You have Wind of Protection. When cast on a structure, it cannot be attacked for 20 seconds. So very similar to the freezing power of Angmar, but they can still do everything they normally do. Except only for 20 seconds they can't be attacked. But siege equipment can still deal damage to it. Only because it says it can't be attacked does not mean it cannot be damage cannot be dealt to it. You can attack it with a spell. You can do anything to it. It just cannot be directly attacked. It's not invulnerable. So do keep that in mind. Next we have Elven Healing. Greatly heals units, so does like every other healing ability in the game. And then we have Glance of the Stars, which I think is busted. Reveal the whole battlefield for a short time. And that short time is, using the timer, so starting at 12 seconds. We now see the entire map. I'm going to click off Galadriel so we'll try it. So you can see, got all those beautiful fire drakes in there we haven't attacked yet. Yeah, this map's still revealed after 10 seconds. It's still revealed after 20 seconds. So this is a short time, 20 seconds, to see the entire map. 25 seconds. 25 seconds you can see the entirety of the map. Granted, it does not reveal stealth units like the Ivory Tower does. But still, goddamn, that is so busted. Because if you're playing on like an 8-player free-for-all, you now see everyone, where everyone is, who they are. That is massive map information for playing PvP, and I find that very strong. Although I don't think you can play PvP on this mod. That is not to be confirmed yet. So now coming to Tier 2 powers, got the Enshrouding Mist, which is exactly the same as the Enshrouding Mist of BFME 2. Friendly units within the mist become stealthed, significantly reduces armor and damage. I believe that damage and armor reduction has been increased since the stealth mechanic has also been given a rework to be made better. Then we've got Grace of the Eldar, which actually gives, in particular, Celeborn gains 40% armor, Haldir gains 30% armor, allows construction of the Galadriel barracks. So Haldir gets his Galadriel armor, which is where you can see right here, and Celeborn gets his Elven armor, his silver armor. Before you get this upgrade, Celeborn's just in his silver pajamas, and Haldir's in his just wearing his scout armor, similar to his brothers Rumil and Orifin. Slightly different colours. What was that? Oh, everyone just died. Everyone just died, and I was wondering what the hell that noise was. Okay. So next we have the Elven Wood. Allies within it gain armor and experience. All enemies lose these ships, but it doesn't also mention that, you know, it gives stealth because of trees. So Elven Wood's actually stronger than the Enshrouding Mist because it gives a buff and reduces the enemy leaderships instead of just giving a armor and damage reduction. And then finally it's Tom Bombadil. He doesn't say Bombadillo, so he's not as good. Granted, he is a bit stronger, but nah. He doesn't yell Bombadillo every time he attacks. I'm not impressed. You gotta add it in if you're gonna make Bombadil good. And then you have the Eagle allies, which is exactly the same as in Edain mod. You get Gwai here and some giant eagles. You may get more, you may get less, who knows, we'll find out when we get there. Then the Light of the Golden Wood, your Cloud Break, cancels Rain and Darkness, stun enemy units, and slightly heal allied units. So again, another mini heal on an ability. That's, compared to the Cloud Break of Gondor, which doesn't have this additional heal, it's a bit stronger, and costs exactly the same. I'd say, I think that deserves to be on this side here and have the Ents in the middle, because on Summon Ent allies you summon Ents. Because it costs 22 power points, it makes it harder to get both of these. I mean, that's my personal preference. And then finally you get the two powers which are always known for the elves, Flood and Sunflare. Nothing new, nothing different about them. Just give an idea of what they do. Sunflare. There's nothing there. But that was pointless. Basically it scorches the area, does a lot of damage. And any units within are normally just killed and burnt. And it does leave a bit of a burning. It used to give a bit of a burning aura in the HD version of, version 1.808 of BFME 2, the original BFME 2. So we're done with powers, we're done with units, we're done with buildings. Let's get to heroes. So we're going to go over Rumil and Orifin at the same time because they are basically the same hero, just doubled. Orphan and Rumour. When Orphan and Rumour are close to each other, they gain armor and damage and high resistance to ranged attacks. They also share experience for each kill. And this is shown with this little aura here, which is normally the aura for when you're getting healed. Yeah, unlike in most games where Rumour and Orphan, one of them's a sword, one of them's a bow, they both only use bows, but they do have swords on their backs for some unknown reason. Next, they get the March Wardens of Lothlorien. Lothlorien Wardens near Orphan or Rumil, because that's the other one, Rumil, gain increased speed and armor. Yeah, exactly the same. Get 20%, so you get a total of 50% speed and 100% damage. And for those of you who don't remember what the Lothlorien Wardens are, because I've been speaking a lot and very quickly, it's the units that can always stealth. These bad boys. So the unit you can only get 5 of. The ones that instantly have Silverthorn arrows. You know, just give them even more speed, give them even more damage, because who needs more of that? Then you get Swift Shooter. Orphan and Rumil gain increased magic damage and range for 20 seconds. And they fire Silverthorn arrows as well. It looks majestic. Another thing to note is, if you have both of them selected at the same time, you use this ability on one of them, or one of the heroes is selected, it uses it on both. So you know, just another caveat to show that they are basically two pieces of the same coin. Next we have Elven Swiftness. Lothlorien Wardens around Rumil / Orphan gain double armor for 20 seconds. Now I don't believe this ability does stack. No, let's give off some leaves. It gives off double leaves. So that means the double armor has been doubled again. So quadruple armor. That means they get quadruple armor for 20 seconds. That's a bit busted. That's not the worst of it. Their last ability together is Lembas Supplies. Allied units near Rumil or Orphan get slightly healed if not under attack. They also respawn their horde members. So these two heroes, which can split and are mobile, become portable wells. I talked about Gondor having OP healing effects because of how good they were. This is even worse than ridiculous because of two things. One, most of the powers of Gondor were very small area of effects or stationary beings. These two can move around, are already quite strong. They start at level 3, so getting to level 10 is only 7 levels away. They only cost 800, and that's their base. Granted, they're not the best things in the bucket bin. In the bucket bin? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. The bargain bin, that's it. They're not the best bargains in the bargain bin, but they are definitely really, really powerful when you get to level 10. Plus, they're both ranged. You can just go for an entire army of just archers and win with just Rumour and Orphan alone. I'm not joking. That's an actual thing. Just build like an outpost. I could build an outpost here and lock my opponent within, and they will never be able to get out. Because Rumour and Orphan is constantly heals every allied unit around them at level 10. Anyway, enough about them being OP. Let's go to Haldir. So Haldir, the double chin, as he always is, starts with being able to alternate between sword and bow, like he always does. Next is his Guardian of Lothlorien ability. Well, it's actually 2 bits. His original ability, before he gets to level 7, is a passive that gives the Lothlorien units better upgrades. When you hit level 7, Haldir gets additional armor and damage. He doesn't get the actual armor upgrade though, that only comes with the Grace of the Eldar. But he does give Galadriel archers and swordsmen additional damage and armor around him as well. Then he has his golden arrow, a high damage attack that stuns light sensitive units. So basically any unit that's not... it just stuns any units. I think it's very hard to find a non-light sensitive unit because even the elves can get blinded by lights at times. Then you can make a flat tower. Haldir summons a flat which shoots on enemies and can be garrisoned with heroes. It doesn't just say garrison with heroes, it can be garrisoned with anything. It doesn't have to be a hero. But if I was to just throw Haldir into here, yay, Haldir's now in here and he's safe. And you can make 10 of these. So yeah, you just got a lone tower generation with Haldir at level 6. That's a bit strong. But then level 10, Galadriel veterans summons 3 units of Galadriel warriors. Now don't be mistaken, these are not the warriors that you've seen before. These are completely different. These can switch between swords and bows. These are the original. These are the original Galadriel warriors that you'd actually get when you use the summon Elven warriors power from BFME 1, and I must admit, it is a nice thing they brought this formation back. 'Cause I missed this. I missed this so much. I'm so happy they brought it back. Next is Celeborn. He starts with leadership, Lord of the Galadriel. Nearby Lothlorien units gain increased experience, damage, and Galathon guards near Celeborn gain increased armor and experience as well. Next, the light of oh yeah, by the way, the difference between Lothlorien units and Galadriel units is quite substantial. These are Galadriel. These are not classed as the Lothlorien units from the Lothlorien barracks. The Galadriel are from the Galadriel barracks, and the Galathon guards are not Lothlorien units either, or Galadriel units. They are Galathon. It's strange how they've worded it, but it works in a way. It makes it so leaderships can't constantly stack over each other and are busted. It's a nice way. Next, you've got the Light of Elbereth. Stun enemies in place for 10 seconds and turns trolls to stone. And by the way, I tested this against Angmar. It does work on Rogash. You can actually stun Rogash for 10 seconds with this. Next is the Knowledge of Celeborn. Celeborn gives experience to allied units. Pretty nice range. Not as powerful as other experience abilities, but it is at level 3, so give Celeborn credit where credit is due. He deserves it. Next, the Armor of the Galadriel. Again, once it reaches level 5, or you earn the Grace of the Eldor ability, he gets additional armor and magic resistance, thanks to his armor. Then he has the Silver Blade, gains magic damage for 30 seconds, so his sword gleams like it was a Blade Master, but not as good as Blade Master. And then finally, the Winds of Lothlorien teleports allied heroes and units in a big radius of anywhere on the map. So teleport these guys over here. So it's very similar to the Wizard custom hero power, except the banner is exactly the same, just has a bigger radius. Oh, and it gives massive lag. Never use this power. Never use this power. Unless you want to break the game and lag everyone else out, do not use that power. That lag was ridiculous. And then finally we come to Galadriel, and I must admit, they did her to a T. Because the main thing about Lothlorien is, in the beginning, you are a stealth faction. You start in the shadows. But then with the Galadriel, which can't stealth, no, they can stealth, but you start coming out into the lights with your more powerful units, your light bearers, and it's such a fun thing. You just come out from the shadows of the trees into the light to destroy your opponents with your lot more powerful revealing effects, your light powers. Oh, it's so well done. But Galadriel is exactly the opposite. She starts as a great beacon of light, but can turn into a power of absolute darkness with the power of the Storm Queen. Yes, at level 1, she can turn into the Storm Queen. How is that not busted? We'll go over what she does on a second tier later. So start off with the Garden of Lothlorien. It's have her with her hood and blinding radiance. So the Nenya, the Ring of Water, protects her allies with her ring. Heroes gain armor and recharge time. Units get additional armor, and structures gain armor. So this is the exact same power that she has when you summon her with the White Council as any of the other 2 good factions. Then she has Galadriel's Gift. Targeted heroes gain armor and recharge time, and this is a permanent bonus. Then she has Nenya's Preservance. Galadriel uses her ring to protect and preserve her kingdom. Selected Lothlorien buildings gain health, and then special bonuses as well. So if you use it on a Malon tree, you get 10% production increase. On a barracks, that's a Lothlorien or the Galadriel barracks, but not an Enmoot, you get faster training speeds. On the Sanctuary, which is the Gathering of Light building, this recharges 50% faster, 50% faster, and the Armory costs of all unit upgrades is reduced by 15%, and that can stack up to 3 times if you make up to 3 armories. So yeah, that's a really good power. So these are just her passive powers she starts with at tier 1. Slowly, after this, she starts bending into madness in a way. So the Glance of the White Lady. All units around are scared for a short duration and lose 50% damage for 15 seconds. And this is shown by this aura that's slowly building up around her. That aura just stays around for a while, and anything within it for 15 seconds loses half their damage. So, you know, quite terrifying indeed, Galadriel. Quite terrifying indeed. Then she has her own, like, Wizard Blast, which we also showed off or talked about in the Gondor overview. Galadriel blasts back enemy units in a medium area, but you do not understand, this is not a Wizard Blast. This is the White Blast. It's so much better. In fact, I might go show it off here. I think she can use against anything like a normal Wizard Blast. So to use against this building here. Not only looks cool, but it is cool. Okay, I think it's time she turns into a storm queen and starts beating the head out of everything. So this is her base normal basic attack. It's an AoE knockback cone attack, which does pretty good magic damage. And then the Storm Queen form, it doesn't really change. Her basic attack does not change as much as you'd think, but it does have a small visual effect difference. She still is fast, and she still has that kind of white aura, but now she's in a dark form. Enemies around Galadriel lose armor, and enemy hero powers recharge 20% slower. So she starts to become a real force of evil in a matter of speaking. If you look at her, oh, that was adding that with line, by the way. Yeah, her health and her melee damage does not change, but her powers do. Next, she gains the Terrifying Gaze, which is what you get with normal Galadriel. It's a nice little aura, make enemies flee terror. Banisher of Darkness. Galadriel stuns an enemy with the light of Elendil. Blasts back enemies with magical force. Heroes and units are stunned for 5 seconds. So this is a improved version of the White Blast, which you can only get at level 8, I understand. You can only get, so these powers, unlike her first powers, which come at level 1, level 1, level 1, level 3, level 5, she gets these at level 3, level 8, level 10, and level 10, and requires the 1 ring. Let's have a look at Banisher of Darkness. This is the damage it did with her White Blast did. About the same amount of damage. Oh, that is. They did that to a T. Oh, this is why I love this mod. Then she gets Nature's Wrath, summons a destructive tornado onto the battlefield. The same tornado she normally has, although it has a greatly reduced cooldown because it is a greatly reduced time remaining on the field because it is quite powerful. Oh yeah, let's not actually show what something that does. It destroys everything, well, most things. Doesn't do much to buildings though, unless it's including the small outpost buildings around it. And then finally, the Fury of the Elf Witch says that a shockwave that knocks back enemies. Galadriel gains armor, double speed, and double damage to buildings. And deals double damage to buildings.
Lord, you would have a queen, not
Oh, I did a mistake. She's going to say this entire quote. I don't want to get... No, quiet, Galadriel, quiet. Quiet. Stop being so loud, woman. I'm going to keep talking over you until you're done. I don't care. No, I'm going to have to listen to this whole thing. Oh, she doesn't even change forms. She can't change forms. She remains in this evil state. She turns into what she looks like in Basic BFME 2 until the power's finished. And then she returns to her form in the battle at the Battle of Dol Guldur. Also, you get Tom Bombadil. He takes a while to summon, but he is a lot stronger. He kills almost everything with his knockback dance, and his sonic song does so much more damage. The only thing he's weak against though are heroes. Buildings, no problem. He just takes them down. But yeah, Galadriel's now got the Fury of the Elf Witch. But only when you get the 1 ring. So you actually need to have the 1 ring to make her say all of that. I'm glad I managed to talk over her because oh dear. I'm fairly certain the music behind when she's speaking is actually copyrighted. I'm unsure about that. And then finally you get the Flood, which is your main damage to buildings. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. It ended rather erratically because I had to try and kill off Galadriel as soon as possible. But this took me a lot less time than what it took me to finish off Gondor. Not gonna lie with that one. Gondor had a lot more to it to talk about. Plus I was talking about all the new changes that you get with the BOTTA mod, because it's always good for people to know these things. So next on the list will be Erebor, and also another quick hint for you all. I'm trying to get all these videos brought out as soon as possible, so I'm going to be recording these again and again and again on the same day. But they'll still come out at the same times. It's just that I will be calling these over and over and over again. So if my voice does slowly die away, it's because I've recorded about 5 of them all in one day. Oh, this is gonna be a fun Tuesday. Well, until next time, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date on new content, and comment down below if you want to ask me any questions, you have any tips or tricks you may want to ask me about, or if you know any I may have missed out. Don't make sure you tell me everything, because I am very eager to see what is going to be next for the BOTTA mod. If you think this mod could work in the random roundhouses, because I've done a bit of testing with it already, it's a bit iffy. The AI are a bit weak in some regards, but I will give it a go if you guys want to see the random roundhouses on this. But another thing to note is, I'm going to say it now, but probably you're never going to hear it because some people don't get to this far. But if you do, first, congratulations for getting this far, and secondly, I will be doing the good and evil campaigns for the BOTTA mod. Because yes, they have been tweaked and changed to make them more of the BOTTA mod instead of just the basic BFME 2. But until next time, ta-ta for now.